out why the user's Renault 1.9 diesel isn't starting in the morning. First, I'll start by recalling common issues with diesel engines, especially older ones like the 1.9. Cold weather can definitely be a factor here since diesel engines rely on compression ignition, which is harder to achieve when it's cold. Maybe the glow plugs are faulty. Glow plugs are crucial for starting diesel engines in cold conditions because they preheat the combustion chamber. If they're not working, the engine won't start easily. The user should check the glow plug's resistance or have them tested. Also, the glow plug relay could be an issue. If the relay isn't sending power to the plugs, they won't heat up. Another possibility is the battery. Diesel engines need a strong battery to crank the engine fast enough, especially in the cold. If the battery is weak or old, it might not provide enough power. The user should check the battery voltage. It should be around 12.6 V when off and not drop too much when cranking. Also, the starter motor might be struggling if the battery is weak. Fuel delivery issues could be another culprit. In cold weather, diesel can gel, clogging the fuel filter. Using winter-grade diesel or adding an anti-gel additive might help. The fuel filter itself might be clogged, so replacing it could solve the problem. There's also the fuel pump. If it's not maintaining pressure, the engine won't start. Checking the pump's pressure and looking for leaks in the fuel lines would be important. Air in the fuel system is another common issue. If there's air, the injectors won't spray fuel properly. Bleeding the fuel system might be necessary. Also, the injectors could be dirty or worn, leading to poor atomization. Cleaning or replacing them might be needed. The engine's compression could be low. Diesel engines rely on high compression to ignite the fuel. Worn piston rings or cylinder walls can reduce compression. A compression test would help diagnose this. The timing belt should be checked too. If it's slipped or worn, the engine's timing could be off, preventing it from starting. Even if it looks okay, if it's near the replacement interval, it might be worth changing. The coolant temperature sensor might be faulty. It tells the ECU the engine's temperature, which affects fuel mixture and glow plug operation. If it's sending a wrong signal, the ECU might not activate the glow plugs properly. The EGR valve could be stuck open, causing too much exhaust gas recirculation and making starting difficult. Cleaning or replacing the EGR valve might help. Lastly, the ECU could have errors. Scanning for fault codes with an OBD2 scanner might reveal issues that aren't obvious. Putting this all together, the user should start with the simplest checks: battery, glow plugs, fuel filter, and fuel quality. If those don't solve it, move on to more complex issues like fuel pump, injectors, compression, and sensors. If they're not comfortable doing these checks themselves, taking it to a mechanic would be the next step.